Hey there friends, Pete here. I wanted to put together another video log because I happened to pick up some more things today while I was out and about, and I wanted to share them with you, plus I had a few other things to talk about as far as the channel goes. Um, when I set out today, I had two very specific goals. The first goal was to try and track down the Ghostbusters video game for the Xbox 360. As I'm sure you've heard by now, Harold Ramis passed very recently. Harold Ramis, of course, was Egon Spengler in Ghostbusters. He was my personal favorite. Nerdy, just like me. Kind of an outcast, kind of picked on, just like me. So I identified with the character quite a bit. So when I read that he had passed, it hit me a little bit harder than I expected it was going to. So I knew this week that one of the things I wanted to do was pick up Ghostbusters for the 360, which I have right here. I did play it for a very brief amount of time when it first came out. I think I borrowed it from a friend, and I kind of got lost while playing it. But now, with everything that's happened, I think that it made, or I wanted to have it in my library. It just made sense. What I didn't expect, however, when I was out and about today was to find the PlayStation 2 version of the game as well, which you see the title screen splashed behind me. I don't have any experience with this version, aside from what is shown on the back of the case, which makes it look more cartoon style than pseudo-realistic. So I'll be interested to see how this game holds up, how it plays, what the presentation is like. I don't have any of that information to share with you right now, however, because I haven't played the game yet. I literally just got back from my excursion within the last half hour, and I wanted to get in front of the camera before I started to play. So that was kind of nice that I was able to fulfill that goal first. The other thing that I wanted to do today was I knew of a place that had a copy of Persona 3 for the PlayStation 2, the FES version. And I was lucky enough to still be able to buy it. This is Persona 3 FES. It is still sealed in case. It will not be sealed for long, however, as I will be opening this up to play it. I have Persona 4. I bought it recently when I was going through GameStop stores with a 75% off deal. It's not complete, of course. It's a loose version, but it happens to have the soundtrack disc and the game disc. So it's nice to be able to have Persona 3 to fall back on and play as well. I don't necessarily know whether I'll play them in order, but it's just nice to have in my library. So I fulfilled both goals today. And not only did I do that, but I did it with a relatively low amount of money spent out of pocket. This was only $20, and it very well could have been more than that. As a matter of fact, the owner of the store that I bought it from, which is Game Depot out of Holyoke, Massachusetts, honored the price still on the case, while it actually could be selling for $30 or so. So that was really nice of him to do, and I appreciate that. So I also bought some other things while I was out and about, since I was able to fulfill my main goals today, and I'm going to share those with you now. Keep in mind with this video, I have not tested or played any of these before showing you. This is just me getting home in front of the camera, so unless I've played it before, I'm not going to have a lot of opinions to share. For example, this is Savage Skies right here for the PlayStation 2. This was the game that Ozzy Osbourne was supposed to be in. Why did I get this? Well, first of all, it was $2 and it's complete. The second reason is because Jack Blades, who those of you who are older, like myself, probably remember from Night Ranger and Damn Yankees, was in charge of the music for this game. So that right there made me interested. Also, it's a flight combat game. I know that the reviews aren't very good, and I've heard that it's kind of dull. But for $2, I'm willing to give it a shot. I also picked up a couple of PlayStation 1 games. One that I've played before and one that I have not. This is the one that is new to me. This is Alien Resurrection right here. Alien Resurrection is in great shape. It looks like it's a holdover from Electronics Boutique before they went down. But the disc is in great shape. The manual is still here. The case is in great shape. So I figured I'd give it a shot. The thing that stood out to me when reading the back of the case was one of the tags, one of the little reasons you should play it. Ambient sound and game sound effects straight from the Alien Resurrection movie. Well, there you go. There's authenticity for you, or at least maybe. So I thought it was worth a try. The other game I got was because of a comment that was left on my signpost video, which is episode 14, went up yesterday. The commenter was talking about 10 Pin Alley, which is this guy right here. I also have fond memories of 10 Pin Alley, but the reason it wasn't in my library until now was because I have the Brunswick Circuit Pro Bowling 2, which is from the same company, and uses the same general bowling engine, but with professional bowlers and a more pro-style approach. I was a league bowler for many years, so having that game with the realism and the TV-style presentation was a big deal to me. But this is where those games got their start, was 10 Pin Alley. All of the games, this, Brunswick Circuit Pro Bowling, and its sequel were developed by Adrenaline Entertainment. And this is actually a really good game. It's doesn't take itself overly seriously. There are a lot of character stereotypes and some silliness, but the underlying bowling game is actually really good, and I got this for $2. So it's really neat that this was mentioned in the comments. It actually got me to thinking, and when I happened to see the video or the game out and about today, it was kind of fate. I had to have it. So there you go. So those are the disc-based games. Let's get to the cartridge-based stuff. There are a couple of Super Nintendo games that I got. The first one is Nickelodeon Guts, this guy right here. I have never played Nickelodeon Guts before. However, I have Double Dare in my collection. I liked watching Double Dare, I liked watching Nick Arcade, and I liked watching Nickelodeon Guts back when Nickelodeon would show those, or more importantly, when Nickelodeon had their Games and Sports, or GAS channel, which was really the best thing on TV, in my opinion, until they pulled the channel. But I've never played the game, so I'm looking forward to trying it and see whether it's anywhere near as good as the TV show was. The other game I got, which is because I played it in the past, and I remembered playing it, not necessarily whether I enjoyed playing it, is the Lawnmower Man, this guy right here. I saw the original film, and I thought that the film was kind of neat, but the thing that I remember about the game most of all was the virtual reality type sequences that are interspersed between the rather generic platforming shooting sequences. So for $2, I thought that this was worth picking up. So those are the Super Nintendo games. Now, because it's Wednesday, and of course with Wednesday you have NES in the middle, it means it's time to talk some regular NES stuff. First is Afterburner, which is a Tengen cart. Paid $2 for this. It's a Sega game on a Nintendo console. Now, if you're a kid of the 80s and 90s, you remember that Nintendo and Sega at one time were bitter rivals. So to have a Sega game on a Nintendo platform, even if it's before the battles really began, is kind of novel. So that's Afterburner. The next couple of games I got because of a project I'm working on, which I'm going to talk to you a little bit about shortly, and that is Bases Loaded. Whoops, let's try that again. Bases Loaded and Bases Loaded 2 Second Season. I originally saw these at another local video game store, but they were much too expensive for my taste. They were $6 a piece. I got these for $4 total. So I was quick to grab them because of the project that I'm working on. And again, I'll share that information with you in a little bit. Next, and I'm a little sad because there's some label damage or some extra labels on the top that I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to get off. But this is Shinobi here for the NES, and this is another one of those Sega games, or Sega arcade games, that's on a Nintendo platform. I haven't played this, actually. I've played the Afterburner a little bit before, but not Shinobi, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this is. Next is Tecmo Baseball right here. This is not my favorite baseball game. As a matter of fact, I don't believe that it's one of my top 5 favorites in the genre on the NES, but again, it goes with the project that I'm working on. And you can probably figure out where it's going. And then last, But certainly not least is Wheel of Fortune featuring Vanna White. Aside from sports video games, one of my other favorite genres happens to be game show conversions. Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, Price is Right, Press Your Luck. All of these kinds of games, because I've never been on TV, obviously, but I like to play along at home. And these games actually give you the opportunity to be as interactive as you possibly can be without being on set. Granted, you don't win the money or the prizes, but it's still fun to be able to play and put yourself in that spot. So those are the games that I picked up today. It was nice to be able to get some extra things while also accomplishing the main goals that I had set out to accomplish, and that's certainly important. So those are the pickups. As for the channel itself, I am very, very happy, very grateful, very humbled by the fact that videos of late have been receiving extra likes and comments from you guys. Again, this is a project that's for fun. I'm not looking to monetize it in any way. It's just something that's fun for me to do during afternoons, being able to get on camera and share my experiences and thoughts with you guys. So the fact that A, people are watching, B, that people are actually taking the time to hit the little thumbs up, the little like button, and C, that people are actually taking time to comment on my work, is really the ultimate payoff for me, because that shows engagement with my audience. I very easily could be making these videos and they could just sit on the internet and be my legacy long after I'm gone. But the fact that I have people that are watching my videos with regularity, that are taking the time to talk about them, and taking the time to engage with me means the world. And that's what drives me to continue to do this, rather than, or on a regular schedule, I should say, rather than just doing it when I feel like it. The best way to kind of get yourself known and to get people to become a fan of your work is to be consistent and to keep creating new content so that people have things to watch and things to possibly go back and watch if they're new. So the fact that we're going to be getting to episode 15 this week after only about a month and a half, 2 months, means a great deal. The other thing is the channel is very close to 100 subscribers. I believe we're over 90 now. There's a little bit of fluctuation here and there. I have a feeling that my videos tend to run a little bit long. I tend to be a little bit wordy, which if you've read my writing, you understand I tend to be wordy there too. It's just really difficult for me to be able to squeeze my thoughts into 10-minute brackets or less, unless it's something that's very focused, very pointed. So I'm hoping to get to 100. That would be awesome. If not, not a big deal, but it certainly means a lot that I'm over 90. That's many, many, many more subscriptions than I thought that I would get going into this project. I'm sure you figured out by now, I don't do any editing. The Pete Plays stuff is just me sitting right next to the TV playing, and it's not expertly done by any stretch of the imagination. I'm only using a USB microphone. I don't have a microphone stand. This is really just a fun project that lets me kind of express myself a little bit and get my thoughts out there. So the fact that I'm even close to 100, let alone this close to 100, is huge, and I thank you guys for it. So what happens from here? Well, episode 15 is coming tomorrow after I get out of classes. And then as soon as next week, maybe a week after, depending on what my schedule looks like, I'm going to be putting together 2 episodes. So it'll basically be a week's worth of content based on 8-bit and 16-bit baseball video games. Those of you who know me or who have been watching stuff on the channel know that sports games are something that I hold in pretty high regard. After all, I dragged out the Midway Sports series for 3 episodes. I won't do that with the baseball games, I promise. But because the 8-bit and 16-bit baseball games are some of my favorites, and because I really can't pick just one, although I will when I do a little bit of a countdown of my favorites, I did want to take time during the spring training season, getting ready for baseball season to begin, to really break down the baseball games that I have and to talk a little bit about their effect on me, and sports games' effect on me in general. And I'll be doing that, if not next week, then the week after, depending on what my schedule looks like. Other than that, I think I'm going to continue on with the Pete Plays videos. Reception's been pretty good, better than I thought it would be. I was especially heartened by how people reacted to the Bases Loaded 96 video that I shot last week. That was kind of an out-of-the-blue thing that I thought I would do last minute. It was fun to play that game. It was fun to let the full-motion video run. I know a couple of people thought that that was hilarious. But then again, full-motion video intros back then, that's basically all we got. So I think I'm going to continue that. I'm looking to do that still just once a week. I don't want that to be the focus of what the channel is. But I think I like to do that just to kind of have a little bit of fun and I'd say let my hair down, but I don't have any. But you know, just kind of just be loose a little bit and have some fun rather than be all serious character knowledge guy like I tend to be for the actual episode videos. Other than that, episode shooting will continue for the foreseeable future. I really don't see any reason why it wouldn't, unless something happens with the webcam, and then I'd be disappointed. And then going into April, that's when my birthday month is. So we'll see whether I get any new games to cover during that time. Something that I'm thinking about doing is, although not necessarily exactly like what folks like Pro Jared do, is I'm looking to do very short, maybe up to 4 or 5 minute videos that'll just be reviews with the game playing in the background and me talking about what I liked, what I didn't like about the game. I don't know when that's going to start. I don't know whether I'm going to make those episode videos. I don't know how I'm going to work those in, but it's something that I've wanted to do for a while, and I think that it's just about time for me to do so. I've covered a lot of the basic things that I've wanted to cover on the channel already. I've talked about demo discs. I've talked about arcade compilations and arcade games, and I'll continue to do that. I've talked about instruction manuals. So I think it's going to be time to kind of zoom in a little bit and focus on 1 or 2 games in particular for videos rather than being too wide-scoped as I've been. So probably in April, I'm thinking about starting to do that. I don't know what I'm going to call those just yet, whether it's going to be Pete reviews or unscripted updates or something. I'm trying to come up with something that's not just your basic review title. And we'll see whether I come up with anything like that before April starts. But that's when you'll start to see those. And again, I'll try and keep those around 5 minutes or so. I don't want it to be 60 seconds, first of all, because I'm not editing, so there's no way it would be within 60 seconds. And B, because I don't want to necessarily feel constrained if I have specific thoughts on a particular title. So that's it. That's what's happening from here. As always, thank you guys very much for watching Retro Unscripted, the episodes, the video logs, the Pete Plays, all of that stuff. It means a lot to me. I can't tell you how much. Until the next time, which will be tomorrow, I hope you guys have a good one, and I will see you on the next episode of Retro Unscripted. Take care.